Hi, I'm Randy Hollenbeck, and this is the Music Roundtable. Today on the show, we have Dustin Douglas, blues and rock guitarist.
Hello, everybody. How are you, Randy? Thanks for having me, man.
I came home from work today. Yeah, my baby's things were gone.
Dustin, if you could tell us a little bit about how you started playing guitar and how you got into the blues.
Yeah, man. I mean, there was always guitars around when I was a younger kid. You know, my parents always had bought me toy guitars and drum sets. My grandparents, always had guitars in their attic for some reason. I don't know why, but they were there. And I think it was, I think it was destiny in a way. But then I started taking lessons from a local blues rock guy. That was around the age of 8, 9, and then yeah, man, the rest is history. A couple bands, and here we are.
Were you wanting to learn the blues?
No, I mean honestly, that for me, the blues came through you know blues rock stuff from the start. Whether it be the Stones or Zeppelin. I was definitely raised on rock and roll. So that all came later as you kind of do the research of who your idols were, and that's where that got, digging a little deeper, being an archivist. That's how that all came to be.
So, who would you say your influences are?
I mean, definitely I think, the top three for me is definitely, Jimi Hendrix, Jimmy Page, and Stevie Ray. But I mean, I have a lot of influences, man. It's not just necessarily in the rock or blues world. I like a lot of stuff. I love great songwriters. I'm influenced by anything, man. Pop radio, and my influences go far and wide.
I went on your YouTube page and I wanted to see how you guys played on stage and stuff. And I started watching I believe you opened up for Kicks. It was like back in 2019. And so I started watching it, and then I found myself watching the whole thing. It was like so mesmerizing, the whole show you put on.
Thank you. Well, that's cool, man. That means the world to me. Yeah, I mean, performing live is something that I really really enjoy, and it's just part of me. And not being able to do it for a long time this last year, and so it's definitely not just for me, but for all of us, working musicians. It kind of it kind of put in perspective how much it does mean to you. But yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
I was wondering how much you improvise while you're up on stage.
I, a lot. We don't really, there's a few tunes that um, you have to play the way that they are. But I don't really play solos the same way twice. There's a lot of room for improvising in our live set, which that's kind of where we come from, and that's the world that we, uh, Matt, the game, the bass player, he comes from like kind of the jam scene, so that's huge for him. And yeah, we don't really go by the book at all, and I'm okay with that. Yeah, that kind of makes it interesting every night, and I think that's what keeps people coming back too.
And it feels like you got a real tight rhythm sections. Like when you do sometimes go off and improvise, I mean, they come right back in on cue, like perfect.
Yeah, I'm very lucky to have Tommy and Matt behind me. I mean, they're my backbone. We're brothers, and we've been playing now long enough where we kind of know what we're gonna do, and God love them. Sometimes I could go off on some tangents, but yeah, they know what to expect. They know what they got themselves into.
With everything locked down in the past year, with the pandemic and everything, what did you do during that whole year?
Well, I mean, I think like the most of us, I think I think a lot of the time was spent like waiting for something to happen, and before you knew it, like months passed, and you didn't do anything except watch Netflix. And I know it came to a point where it was like, all right, well, this is I'm going nuts. So of course, a lot of writing happened, and yeah, it was you know sometimes I don't think the ship would have ever kind of went to dock if it wasn't for that. So I kind of tried to enjoy the time off because I knew that you know it may never happen again, and I hope it never happens again. But yeah, man, I try to make the best out of every situation. But that downtime was definitely, it was beautiful to spend time with my fiance, my dogs, my family. Do things I normally wouldn't do because I'd be on the road, on stage playing gigs or in the studio. So yeah, man. But with that being said, I'm really excited to be back out there doing it.
And you just released Broken May 1st. Is there plans for an album to be released next, or?
Yeah, well, we're gonna release another single called Good Love. And that's gonna be in about a month or two. Um, that's just finishing up getting mixed and mastered. Um, and that's being mixed and mastered, by some pretty heavy hitters, which I'm very excited about. Um, and then, yeah, then the record will be out, sometime in the fall, a full length, which we have about half of it recorded, so we're gonna go in and record the other half. And yeah, man, just keep the ship moving. There's a lot of recording, a lot of things that we have up our sleeves that we're gonna do. So there'll be a lot of different things happening as far as record and new music is concerned.
Do you have any plans to tour anytime soon, or do you got dates booked, or what?
Yeah. Our summer is pretty solid right now, and then fall's going to be the same. So just head to our website, DustinDouglasMusic.com. That's where you can find where we'll be at.
There's this one song I just love that you guys play. It's called On the Dance Floor, and you do this real cool finger picking kind of intro and stuff. I just love that kind of stuff. Where did you come up with that? Did you just sit down and figure it out, or what?
Yeah, that was like, I mean, pretty organically. I mean, that's kind of like a cool. I think that like intro is kind of like an old school kind of like back porch bluesy style, finger picking type thing. I think I wrote that on an acoustic guitar, and then as most things, I kind of map it out and then get into the room with the rest of the guys, and then it becomes something else, man. And it becomes what you hear, which is, that's the best part of doing this. Is just like seeing something in its infancy and then watching it grow into this whole other thing. And that's why I keep doing it, man, because there's no better feeling than that.
One day I'm gonna find you. One day I'm gonna make you mine. One day I'm gonna find you. One day I'm gonna.
When you guys go into the studio, and do you map out your solos beforehand, or is it just like made up on the spot?
Um, I am a 100% just playing it for my soul, and just the feel of things. Which is, kind of goes back to why I don't do kind of, I don't really play too many solos the same way live, and I just because I feel different every time I play that song, so I just want to express that, and that's kind of how the people that I look up to and I listen to, that's kind of how they do it. So that's the only way I know. but yeah, the studio is just kind of press red and hope for the best.
As far as music right now, what are you currently listening to? Is there anything out there?
Yeah, man. So it's nice because I've been back to spending some time on the road, which is where I listen to a lot of my music. Going from gig to gig. I've been on a Nathaniel Ratliff and the Night Sweats kick. I'm a huge fan of them and him. Um, and then yeah, man, I just listened to like the new Saint Vincent record, which I think is really awesome. It's like Pink Floyd meets the Beatles. It's really really cool. Um, yeah, man, the new Royal Blood is really cool. I love those guys. Um, yeah, man, I listen to it all. I really do. I love great records, no matter what genre it is. And it's cool to take influence. I like to take influences from all of it.
That's kind of like how I like got in contact with you. I was like listening through some bands and stuff, and a lot of them just sounded the same. Then I came across your music, and I was like, "Whoa, this is awesome!" It's like a breath of fresh air. It's like not, it's something that's not out there already.
Oh well, that means the world to me, man. Because when you put out stuff and you write stuff, it's like you have your idea of what it sounds like and what it is in your head, but to hear that, because it's easy to get jaded and think that everything you do sounds the same, and But yeah, that means the world to me, man. Thank you, Randy. Yeah, that's all I can hope to do is just make some stuff that keeps people, stop people in their tracks, for a good reason.
What was the first song you ever learned how to play on guitar?
Yankee Doodle. Yeah, like two strings, like the B and the high E string. That was definitely one of the first. And then I think I did. I think the riff for like "Carry On," or was it the Kansas tune, the "Carry On My Wayward Son." That was I remember that being an early riff that I jammed out on. And I know there was a lot of Aerosmith during. I was a huge, was and still is a huge fan of Aerosmith. So a lot of early Aerosmith. I remember when I would, my mom would take me to music stores to go like test out guitars. I literally like had a list of riffs that I knew. So I would just like refer to this riff list. So yeah, I gave up. I gave up. I gave up on that list some years ago.
Where's your band's based out of?
Yeah, we're Pennsylvania. We're like a northeast Pennsylvania, like Wilkes-Barre, Scranton area. Um, yeah, we're all here, man. That's all where we currently reside.
Do you usually tour out of state a lot, or just basically in Pennsylvania area?
Well, I mean, like being right now, it's the rest of the summer is mostly Pennsylvania, just because like things kind of open differently, you know. So, but yeah, I mean, after this, obviously the plans after the new record comes out is to hit everywhere, and hit everywhere pretty hard.
I know that now that things are opening up, there's a lot of bands playing out like every night of the week. It seems like.
Yeah, yeah. It's 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 funny. It's like it was, and my father told me, he's like, enjoy this time off because as soon as this shit opens wide up, and he was right as he usually is. But yeah, I mean, I think I got 5 in 4 days this week, um, which is great. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to every single one of them. So yeah, let it continue, man. There's no stopping me. So we'll just keep going.
What's next for you is you're going to release another single coming out here in about a month.
Yeah, in about a month's time. That's just finishing getting mixed, and then we're going to shoot a video for that as well, another video. Yeah, so a new video, new single, and then finish up the new record, and then that'll be out. And then after that, there's some other cool things that we're gonna release, and that I'm gonna release as well. So lots of new music out there. There's no shortage of new music.
And then you're going to have the album out in fall time?
Yeah, well done. No specific date yet, but yeah, that's the goal. That's the plan. I'm getting married in October, so it's going to be somewhere not on that date. so somewhere around there. But yeah, I don't want to upset the bride.
And how do we get in contact with you? Do you got Instagram, Facebook, Twitter?
Yeah, all of them. I mean, if you just want to get directed to all of them, you can just head to the website, DustinDouglasMusic.com. You can find me, Dustin Douglas Official, on Instagram. Same on Facebook. And then the band has pages as well. So just, a Google search will find what you need to find, for sure. And all the music's on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon. Yeah, and I appreciate any like or any support. It means the world to us.
Is there anything else you'd like to talk about before we go here?
No, I just want to, thank you for the support, for having me on, and thanks to everybody out there for listening. And yeah, it makes it all worth it, man. This is like they say, if you do something you love, it's not a job. It's not a job, And I love doing what I do. So, and, guys like you finding me out of the blue, and that makes it all worth it, man. So thank you. Thanks to everybody out there listening.